Hey everyone, Ed Burton here, and I'm back. It's been a very long time since I've done a video. Back in the summer. Back in summer of 2012. Just been a lot of things going on. With my acne and all this getting better. And this is really bad quality because I couldn't find a cord for my video camera to transfer the video to the computer like I had before. So from now, for now anyway, till I get a new cord, my videos are going to be off of my phone, which is incredibly cheap. But I promised one person that wanted me to do this review that I would do it, and here it is. So, many of you probably don't know who I'm talking about, but the Barbarian brothers. If you do know who I'm talking about, it's probably like, oh, well, God, these guys suck, or something like that. They do suck. Yeah, they're pretty bad, to say the least. But I was asked to do this review, and I'm gonna do it. And it's something else. Sometimes these two guys are unbelievably bad. At what they do. I don't even think you call them actors. I could guess. They're just like it feels like they were supposed to be on a cover of Playgirl, and then they got the wrong phone call, and then they ended up on this movie. It just doesn't seem real. It seems fake. It seems like a pirated, spoof movie. It really does. It's okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let me just type that up there. Get that going. And God, this is such a terrible movie. Okay, so here we go. The Barbarians film is a 1987 American-Italian sorcery movie. It's directed by Ruggero Deodato. Yeah, and it's starring the Barbarian brothers, Peter and David Paul. And it was made in the 80s. I think this is even out of date for the 80s. The 80s was the time of Schwarzenegger and Stallone, where every single cliche, when you look back, it's like, wow, they used that. This is even out of date for them. Out of date for then. That's saying a lot. We look at 80s now, and it's like, wow, that's terrible. 80s said this was terrible. 80s frowned upon this. That's when you know it's in trouble. But anyway, the film is set in a medieval-like heroic fantasy world. The Ragniks, a tribe of peaceful traveling entertainers, is attacked by an evil tyrant, Kadar, who takes their queen, Canary, hostage. Canary, however, manages to hide her magic ruby, the lucky talisman of the Ragniks, which Kadar seeks to bolster his power, which means get his power, grow his power. Two young twins from the tribe, Kuchek and Gore, bite off two of Kadar's fingers. That's disgusting if you watch the movie. That is really disgusting and incredibly cheap. In retaliation, Kadar has them imprisoned as well, but agrees to spare their lives if Canary becomes his bride. They're separated and work as slaves for several years and grow up as amazingly strong adults. Once they become of age, Kadar sets them to fight each other to the death in the arena, their face masked by metal helmets. But as they struggle, Gore knocks out, opens Kushnik's helmet and reveals his face, and recognizes each other immediately. Of course they would, they're twins, but I digress. Blah blah blah. And seeing Canary as a prisoner by Kadar's side, the twins escape from Kadar's fortress, and they go after them or Kuchnik, or whatever, and Gore, go and try to, I guess, save Canary or something like that. Yeah, blah blah blah. The young girl named is blah 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 blah. And it's a reveal of associations with the tribe. It's a reveal this Kara, blah 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 blah. Okay. So basically, let me go through this movie. Oh my God, wow. Why did you make me see this movie? Okay. So let's go over the stars. Okay, Peter Paul and David Paul, worst actors ever, ever, ever. They're worse than Tommy Wiseau. And for those who don't know Tommy Wiseau, he did The Room. Check it out. It's too bad to believe. But anyway, Yeah. Peter and Dave Paul are two of the worst actors. These are actors mainly just about showing off their muscles. Obviously, steroid guys. They're just showing off their muscles and trying to. This is just basically a bodybuilding group, and it's noticeable. They. It's amazing how much in this movie you see them lifting stuff, or you see them showing off their muscles, or someone talking about their muscles. It's amazing. This is the most pretentious group I've ever seen because they just can't stop talking about their muscles. It's ridiculous. I mean, they're basically centering the movie around this. And you can tell it's fake. You can tell it's just a egotistical way to show off their bodies, which is fake. If you look at the camera shots, you can see that it's incredibly fake. Um, Peter and Paul and David Paul can't act worth their lives. I mean, you know, when you think of great actors like Daniel Day-Lewis, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Robert Duvall, Martin Sheen, Orson Welles, all those different actors, and you look at these guys, they're worse than Schwarzenegger and Stallone. That's unbelievable, but yeah, they're pretty bad. At least you can look at Schwarzenegger and Stallone and at least say, okay, well, these guys are trying. And Stallone ain't bad of an actor, and neither is Schwarzenegger for that matter. They diversified themselves. I kind of like Schwarzenegger better than Stallone because you can understand him more, but I digress. Uh, but, God, they're worse than these two guys. And these were the guys that did Commando. These are the guys that did Judge Dredd. Between Schwarzenegger and Stallone, I mean. And all those movies were terrible, and they were terrible in them. But at least they were trying. You could tell that they were at least trying to do good. These guys are terrible. Absolutely terrible. The story is, again, very simplistic, very basic. Nothing really wrong with it, but somehow the budget that they had, the locations they had, made the film seem cheap. It made it feel very lazy, very lackluster. So it didn't help the story at all because the story was very basic and simplistic and very dull. And because the setting around them was very dull, it didn't help the story at all. The acting altogether was subpar at best. I think I'm being generous there. The story is very cluttered, a big mess. The writing is very corny, very cheesy, even for the 80s. Again, this was 80s was like cliche. This cliche era for action movies. It was like the cliche era for action movies. These guys push it to the absolute limit. I mean, they're trying to hold off on the cliches, but it feels less subtle than cliches in a movie. I mean, when you I'll be back and all these different things. And I hate action movies. I hate 80s action movies because they're so simplistic, they're so basic, they're so dull, they're so old, they're so out of date that you just can't enjoy them with what you have now. And plus, I don't even like action movies now because I try to watch movies that are much more complex and much more and have much more to them. So I'm not a big fan of action movies, but even this is like the main reason why I don't like action movies. They're cheap, they're basic, they're simplistic, they're just bad, And okay, all right. Anyway, there's a ton of plot holes in this writing. I mean, it's ridiculous. This writing is lazy. It's lackluster. It's rushed. It's again subpar. Everything seems to be subpar in this movie, and again, that is being very, very generous. I mean, I don't want to say it's terrible because I never like saying a movie's terrible because me making my own web show under Planet Nowhere Studios, like the YouTube page, Planet Nowhere Studios. Check out the trailer for our first show, The Dragon Child. Just type in the Dragon Child teaser trailer, and then you'll find it. But seeing that we're making our own thing, it's kind of like, well, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of time and money that goes into it. Well, So I don't like to say a movie is terrible, but this one, I don't even think they were trying in this one. I think they had a contract with Canon Films, and they just had to make another movie, and then they just made this. So yeah, you know what, screw it. I'll say it's bad. It's terrible. It's one of the worst movies probably I've ever seen, honestly. So for, you know, I'm open to recommendations for different movies. Any movie you want me to review, I'll review. I, you know, have quite a you know, knowing that I don't edit these videos and knowing that I have my cell phone to go after now. Just put comments below. Let me know what you want me to review next. Anything. I'll review anything. I'll watch it. I'll review it. And till next time, Ed Burton signing off. Oh, wait a minute. Final consensus on the movie. Out of 10 stars, I give it to 1. Yeah, 1. 1 sounds good. Okay, so final consensus, it blows donkey butt. Alright, peace.